Please don't give me hype. I'm like left cheek, write my name in ice. Real ass, real ass, real ass, real ass. Got this shit from Tina. I'm a savage.
Alright y'all, I'm back with another tech video. I'm going to show you how I create thumbnails. I will use one of two apps. So this first one is called Bazzart. I learned about this in the YouTube Hustle course with jayla. This was the one benefit from that ghetto slumlord video editing class. So there's some elements I want to add to my thumbnail. So I have some screenshots of some of Jayla's posts. So I just clicked on that magic button and it automatically removes the background for you, and it creates a transparent background so that you can overlay this on top of other pictures and images. So to make this picture pop even more, I'm going to add an outline, and then I'm also going to add a shadow to that. So that's going to pop off of my thumbnail, you know, really bring attention to that so it catches the viewer's eye. And that's the thing about thumbnails. You just want to do something to catch the viewer's eye. I'm not perfect at this all the time. I'm still learning. You know, it's all trial and error, but you want to do something that gets the viewer's attention. Almost like clickbait, but clickbait that's actually in your video. Because, you know, a lot of times people are looking at YouTube on their phone, so the thumbnails are small, so you really have to make them pop. So once that's done, I just save it to my device, and then I have another image that I want to upload. So I'm just going to repeat that same process. I'm going to add that image to Bazzart. Then I am going to click that magic button to remove the background, add an outline and a shadow to make it pop. And you can add any color you want to the outline. The shadow can be a different color as well. But I really love this feature to add the outline and the shadow, again, just to make it pop up off the page. And you see how much more dynamic the picture is, and it's not just flat and all two-dimensional images. All right, now that I have all the extras pulled together, I am going to add in my main image of myself to remove the background. And the good thing about this, sometimes it doesn't remove everything, and you can go in with the erase feature and erase anything that's there. And I changed the intensity of the eraser just depending on where I was erasing. So I want to get rid of that big blue flower from my background. And then once I got closer to my face and hair, I made it a little bit softer so you wouldn't see any harsh lines in the image. Because just as I did with the images of Jayla, I am going to add an outline to my image as well. Again, it's all about making it pop, drawing attention to it. Adding that contrast will allow the viewer's eye to be drawn to the images on your thumbnail. Now, again, speaking of drawing attention, I'm going to add a background color. Since my sweatshirt is so bright and yellow, I decided to add this pink to make it pop. And I feel like pink is one of Jayla's favorite colors, so that relates to the other images. And now I'm just moving around this image, placing it where I want it to go, resizing it. And again, I'm doing all of this on my phone. That's a good thing about this app. Sometimes Canva works for me, sometimes Bazzart will give me what I need. And then I'm just going back to my phone and adding the images of Jayla that I created into the thumbnail. Now that I have all the images in there that I want, I'm going to add my title, something catchy to really get people's attention. So by the time this video goes up, y'all have already seen my review of the YouTube Hustle course. So a lot of people were talking about Jayla being a scammer and about the YouTube Hustle course, was it worth it? So I'm going to use those words in my thumbnail to catch my viewers' attention. So, you know, people see scammer, that kind of amps up the drama, and that's the kind of clickbait element I was talking about. But I do talk about scamming in my video, so it's not a lie, it's just, ooh, I got your attention, click that. And as you can see, I added an outline around the font as well, so you can do the same thing that you did with the images. And I'm actually going to go back and change that, and I'll talk about that later. Again, adding text that relates to my video and the topic and things that I actually mentioned in the video. And here, adding the outline. Again, you can change the color. And here I just use the dropper to pick up the yellow color from my shirt. Again, that high contrast, that bright color brings attention to it. And now I'm just adding some other words that I mentioned in the video. So it's helpful, like in your thumbnails, your titles, your description, your video, your tags, that you use all of the same words, because that allows YouTube to be able to pick up on your video and present it to the right people and the right audiences. So I'm just placing these again to catch the viewer's attention and to let them know what this video is going to be about. Now, one thing I wanted to add was some money falling, because that was like a major theme in a lot of the graphics for the YouTube Hustle course. So I felt like that would go along with the topic and the title. So I found a money falling PNG and added that to my phone and just went to my downloaded photos, and I'm just adding this across the entire thumbnail. And I'm not going to leave this money super opaque. You can actually change the transparency here in Bazzart. So there, opacity, I'm just going to take that down some to make it transparent. And I also moved it to the background to be behind all of the words and the images so that everything is still easily readable. And I'm adding an outline to my thumbnail. For me, I feel like this just makes them pop more, especially when I have pictures where I've taken out the background. So I'm just turning that white to match the font and just to add an outline to the frame and bring the focus to the center of the image. And then here, I forgot to do this at the beginning, but I'm able to resize it to a YouTube thumbnail. Now, Bazzart does have a free trial, but you can also pay like a monthly subscription or just pay for an all-time thing for the app. And so I did that when it was on discount. And that's the thumbnail I came up with for Bazzart, and this is actually the one that I used for my video. All right, now we are switching over to Canva, which I am the queen of, or self-proclaimed queen. So I'm going to click on create design and actually click on YouTube thumbnail, which already gives me the perfect dimensions for a thumbnail. So I don't have to worry about resizing it or trying to guess to make sure that it fits onto YouTube. So this thumbnail is going to be similar, but there's just some features in Bazzart that are not in Canva. I'm going to take another image that I took while recording, and I'm going to use the background remover. This feature is only available on Canva Pro, which you can have a monthly subscription or you can do the yearly one. But there are some other free apps out there that you can use to remove the background if you don't want to spend the coin to pay for Canva Pro. And again, I'm using this eraser feature here to get rid of that blue flower in my background. And I will be sure to do my best to remember to put some free apps down in the description box below that allow you to remove the background of your photos. And then here, I'm just cropping the photo so that I won't have to erase those black lines at the bottom of the photo with the background removed. All right, now I have the background removed off my photo. I have it placed. So the photos that I actually created in Bazzart, I uploaded to Canva, the ones of JaLynn. They were already cut out, background removed, and they had that outline and shadow, which again is going to add that pop to my thumbnail. So I'm just adding those in. And I'm also adding the falling money once again. And here on Canva, you just click on that little checkerboard there to change the opacity. And I clicked on position to move it to the background. And I guess I didn't change the opacity yet. Maybe I did that later. But here I'm adding text to, I'm adding the title for my text. And here on Canva, you can change the color by clicking on that A there. You can make it any color that you want. But unfortunately here in Canva, there is no outline feature. So I'm going to show you all a different way that I make my text pop whenever I use Canva to create my thumbnail. So as I've mentioned in previous tech videos, you can add effects to your font, such as shadow or echo or lift. So I'm using that to add another element to my text so it's not just flat and two-dimensional. Again, like I keep saying, you want to make these pop. You want to bring the viewer's attention to your thumbnail so they'll click on it. You want it to look good. You want it to stand out amongst all of the thumbnails that may pop up on their YouTube search. And now I'm going to add a background color. I was trying to do something a little different than the one that I did on Bazzart. So I'm just kind of running through the colors, seeing what I like and what really stands out to my eye. But yeah, just to add the background color, you click on the actual background in Canva, and then you can just scroll through and change the color. So I noticed that my font wasn't standing out, so I'm going to Elements, and I went to Lines, and I chose this little gradient swoop that I'm going to put behind the actual words, and I'm changing the transparency there, and then I'm just going to place it on top of my font to size it up to make sure it's the correct size, and then I'm going to move it to the back so that way the font has something to stand out against and it's not just all blended together. And here I duplicated that swoop and added it to the bottom. And here's my tip to make fonts pop on Canva. I'm going to duplicate the text, and I'm going to actually change the color of it to a contrasting color so it looks like a 3D effect when it's popping off the page. So since I use black for the original font, I'm going to use white, and I'm going to lay them on top of each other and see that creates that three-dimensional effect. Not exactly on top of each other, it's a little bit offset so that it looks like it's popping off of the white. So the black is popping off of the white, and you can do this with any contrasting colors. And also with fonts, make sure that you're choosing something that is easily readable, because think about the smallest size that someone is going to see this thumbnail is on their phone. So you want it to be easily readable from their phone. So I have to go back and, you know, change some things a little bit with my font. Now I'm just moving and shifting some things around, adding some pictures that I want to add, and using some of those same words that I used in the other thumbnail that I created in Bazzart. So again, just using the same words that I've used in the video, in my thumbnail, in my title, in my description, so that it all connects and makes my video easy to find on a YouTube search. And if I didn't explain the duplicating the font and laying them on top of each other well, let me know. Drop me a comment down below so that I can explain it to you even better. It's hard to explain. It's kind of something I just stumbled upon and learned and did for myself. So here I decided to pop over to Elements and add this little thought bubble. So just rotating around, changing the color. I'm putting the same words that I put in the Bazzart thumbnail up here because they're words that I mentioned in my video, of course. But I just thought the little thought bubble would be cute because, you know, I'm sitting there looking at my phone and sharing my thoughts about the course. So yeah, I just thought it was cute. Seriously, y'all, I'm doing the same thing that I did in Bazzart, but I'm just showing you another way to do it. So I'm going to go back to shapes again, and I am going to get a rectangle to place on the outside of my thumbnail to allow it to pop. What does it mean to make something pop? To allow it to stand out again. So just clicking on it, it'll add it to my design, and then I can change the color and resize it to fit on my thumbnail. All right, I'm just going back and tweaking some things, making sure my placement is right, making sure that I have everything that I need. And this is my final thumbnail created on Canva. So I've showed you all 2 different ways in which you can create thumbnails, 2 different apps. There are certain benefits and pros and cons of each, but you still get the same result. You get a nice, clean looking thumbnail. If you all have any questions about creating thumbnails, need any help or advice, please let me know. Drop a comment down below, and I will do my best to answer all your questions and help you out as much as I can. Thank you for watching my tech videos. I hope you enjoy. Try it out, make mistakes, and learn from them and see what happens. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
No comparison. No.